Hello, quantum community, and welcome to Divine Feminine Immersion Authentic Conversations. Stand by just a moment while I invite Patsy, Balacchi, and Karla Perez to join us in this wonderful conversation. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Divine Feminine Immersions Authentic Conversations. If you heard that a little bit of a noise in the background, I was just joined by a beautiful bee who has come to lend its essence to be with us in this immersive energy. And we're here to talk to you today about the Continuum Immersion, 3 paths of self-mastery, of clearing to create, of shifting to expand, and energizing to strengthen. This is a modality that all 3 of us have co-created in the preparation of our retreat at the Art of Living Center this October in Boone, North Carolina. And we'd like to take a moment to invite you all to join us in sacred community for this incredible life elevating event. And if any of you have been to the Blue Ridge Mountains and you've been to the Blue Ridge Mountains in the fall, it is a symphonic of such rich color that alone, as we immerse ourselves at the Art of Living Retreat Center in 300 acres of nature, is going to be incredibly rejuvenating. So one of the things that we wanted to share with you today before we talk about some of the nuances of this beautiful program is, number one, to welcome you to join us and to actually take the time to invest in yourself. We all have dreams and desires for living better, for a greater expression of our authenticity, our divinity, and our sovereignty. And it's sometimes so easy to say, well, I'm going to do this next year, or I'm going to do this next month. But carpe diem, because when you invest the time and energy and resources in yourself, then you've already taken the first step on your next elevated path of self-mastery, on that transformative journey that you are looking to co-create for your lives. And in sacred community, we transform in ways like no other. Now, for many of us, we're a little bit Zoom fatigued, right? Maybe in the past few years, we've been to a wedding or a birthday party on Zoom, and it's been wonderful because we've been able to connect. But we all long for the connection in physicality, right? Because there is a marked difference. There's a quantifiable difference when we come together in person. And we can look each other in the eye. We can clasp our hands together. We can support each other in moments of elevated joy, and also in moments where we've struggled, where we've had pain, where we've had despair in some aspect of our lives. And this is the power of momentum that is created when we come together in person. So we invite you to join us. Bring your bestie, bring your buddy, and come to the Divine Feminine Immersion Retreat and learn about this Continuum Immersion 3 passive self-mastery. Now, some of the things that you're going to learn in these 4 days as we walk the labyrinth together in ceremony, as we do a karmic clearing fire ceremony, which is one of my favorite events to do together, because it is here that we can take our collective energy, our momentum, and transmute the past areas of limitation. And sometimes we refer to those as karma or karmic entanglements. So we can let those go and create the space within us for new life, for our new story, of success and health and harmony to unfold. So one of the things that I'm going to be sharing about is spiritual alchemy, and how we can look at patterning that originated in our early childhood dynamics that is still projecting our current day reality in some aspect, that we scratch our head and go, why does this pattern keep showing up in my life? What do I need to do to transform it? so I can have either greater harmony in my relationship, or more money in my bank account, or physical health and vibrancy, right? Or deeper sacred relationship, right? Deeper bonds with my children or husband or wife or extended family members. How can I find greater success in my work, in my career path? So we will be exploring some of these aspects of spiritual alchemy, and then identifying one particular pattern that we can transform and transmute with the power of essential oils, vibrational medicine, crystal attunements, and so much more. And for this, I'm incredibly excited, Patsy and Karla, as we continue to put together this world-class program at the Art of Living Retreat Center. Did you see that just this past week it was named #2 best wellness retreat center in the US? Like, I thought, how beautiful and timely to see such a wonderful accomplishment, and knowing that we picked absolutely the top venue to co-create this program of transformation for all of our attendees.
I know, I saw that. That was really, wow.
I think it's so important and essential to let people be aware that what we're doing here is creating that quantum golden momentum for ourselves, like really stepping up to the quality of excellent life that we want to live, that we want to thrive in. And every single area of that is really essential for us to practice sense of space, what we eat, what we think, everything in harmony, and having to provide this sacred space for our program, our Quantum Immersion, is vital. We get to create this space that has been also blessed by one of these Hindu gurus that actually sanctify this place, built on Vastu principles. And Vastu is basically the Feng Shui environmental design in India. So to me, everything is so in alignment with what we're creating. There's a reason and a purpose for what we're doing. And we're going to create so much momentum with that. And of course, all of our expertise coming together, complementing each other's areas, because we cannot have the mind being in, tip-top shape when our bodies aren't, and our spirit is, not in the flow. Our soul is still, navigating through difficult challenges. So everything needs to be in harmony in order to create balance in life. And this is what I feel is our greatest gifts to ourselves and to our participants, who are so looking forward to being here. And it's really interesting how they're wise when we get to listen to the reasons why they want to come to our retreat. And it's because they are ready to hear and empower their divine feminine voice, their divine rising. We have been, on the go all the time, having so much yang and energy, so much of that masculine side, which is wonderful. But how do we balance that out? That's, to me, what is ideal, to learn to harmonize those polar opposites and come to a place where it's in balance. So your highs are not high and your lows are not low. That's key.
I love that. So beautiful, Patsy.
Yes. I completely agree with you, Patsy. It is, we're all always trying to find that point of balance, and it's definitely not easy, because when we focus on something, when we bring balance to that, we've lost attention to something else, and now we need to bring that point into balance. And it's just a constant movement, a continuum, right? Trying to balance ourselves in each and every way. Like you said, this being the feminine immersion retreat, so trying to bring more balance into your feminine side. So like you said, if you are always on the go, for me, balancing has always been, the physical aspect, which is what I'm bringing to the retreat. The physical aspect has always been go, push, this, that. But I've learned in my life, and which is what I want to teach there, is that it's not just go. You have to know when it's time to stop. You have to honor your body. You have to give yourself that space to say, okay, today I will rest. Today I will not do anything. I will honor my body because that's what it needs. I apologize for that. So when we talk about all of this balancing to our guests at the retreat, yes, they're going to be invited to join us in yoga so they can move their body and feel exhilaration, the afterglow of yoga. But yoga also teaches you to connect with your breath, which is breath work, which is what I'm going to also teach at the retreat. The breath tells your body to slow down. So while it's a physical practice, it's also a calming practice, which is where we try to find the balance. So I love that you brought that up, because this whole retreat is about bringing balance back to the feminine side. So teaching that balance, bring it back, slow it down, honor your feminine side is really key. And I'm looking forward to seeing all our participants there who really want to rise in their femininity, in their feminine side, and bring balance to their thriving lives. Is going to be just amazing. So I look so forward to meeting everyone there.
That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. You know, there is an aspect of universal or natural law that is about polarity. And so for all of you that have experienced a significant degree of adversity or challenge or trauma in your life, the pendulum must also swing to that degree in the opposite direction, which means there is an incredible wealth of health, abundance, clarity, inspiration, encouragement, vibrancy, prosperity that is awaiting you. And how do we transform? How do we shift? How do we elevate ourselves in a sustainable way? Because many of us have gone to different events, different locations, conferences, retreats, other experiences where when you're there, you have an incredible expansion, right? Well, what happens after expansion? It's part of the natural life pulse. We go into a state of contraction where we bring all of that wisdom back in. Now, this retreat, the way that we are mapping out the transformation for you to be able to take home offers you the ability to not only take the energy and experience of the retreat, but to take those actionable steps and practices to create sustainable transformation when you get home, in a way that will map them out very clearly, very concisely, and in a very actionable way. Because we all know if we get overwhelmed by planning too much, what happens? We don't do anything, right? That's human nature.
Mm-hmm.
So between that and the aspect that this retreat offers you 3 unique and very balanced pillars of life, in that the teachings from Karla affect our physiology, right, in great ways, as well as the mind, because harnessing the power that is within our mind is crucial for us to live a life of sustainable success, health, and wealth. And so with my specialty of working with the psycho-spiritual aspects and patterning with alchemy, with essential oils, with vibration, we'll be able to immerse those shifts right down to the cellular and DNA level. And then the magic that Patsy will be bringing from our spiritual selves to our spatial selves, and how each intersecting point corresponds between not only our ability to create more abundance, but our physiological health as well. So bringing everything back full circle in a very unified and powerful way. And so in this regard, we cannot wait to welcome you in person at the event in Boone, North Carolina. It is October 27th through the 30th at the world-class Art of Living Retreat Center. And you can sign up today with a 10% promotion at divinefeminineretreats.org. And also think about who you're going to bring with you. Bring your bestie. Bring someone that you want to be able to share the experience with. And know that even if you come by yourself, we may meet as strangers, but we will leave with bonds that can last a lifetime, to nourish and strengthen us in moments when all of the changes and peaks and valleys of life will continue to unfold around us. But it is that center, and it is that strength and that grace and support within and with each other that will support us to navigate life with greater ease and grace and self-mastery. Ladies, do you want to leave any other little tidbits of wisdom
Yes.
and brilliance?
Yes. Can you imagine? We were in the southern France just 12 months ago, and this idea of creating a quantum community came while we were swimming in the Camargue, in the Mediterranean Sea, at the Centre de la Mer. I mean, isn't that amazing? And the potential that we have, this idea that the three of us had, it's now in full creation mode. We really have done this work to really clear, to create, shift to expand, and energize to strengthen. It's just really amazing what we're capable of doing together. And imagine what we can do as a whole collective of quantum like-minded individuals, high vibing it all,
Yes.
getting ready for the next, getting ready for the years ahead. This is only kind of pinpointing where we're heading right now. So you could imagine this whole decade in the twos, it's all about relationship. It's about balancing, right? Think of those pillars. So we can co-create something really, really substantial for years to come to harness your energy, get you ready for that.
Yes.
Self-mastery.
Yeah.
And I will end with just a little tidbit. You know, our attendees can use, I know that they're going to leave the retreat feeling energized, feeling inspired, feeling ready to go and give life to that project that they have been working on or perhaps are thinking about doing. And this will give them that push, because I know, Patsy, when we were there and we got so excited about what we could do together, right? And how we're doing it, and we're putting it together and bringing our gifts and gifting them to others. You know, our attendees are going to take these gifts and make gifts to give to others. So I know that it's going to be a place where they can look back 12 months from the date and say, I remember that was my start. That's what really gave me that little nudge and said, okay, it's time to go and get that I wanted to. So come and join us.
I love
it.
Karla. Carpe diem.
Yes.
Carpe diem. Join us. We would be delighted by your presence. We welcome you. For more information, please visit divinefeminineretreats.org, where you can register and send that link to your bestie that you want to bring along with you. And we will see you next week right here live on Instagram.
Love it.
Blessings.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you.